Good afternoon to one and all. Welcome to this session. Before entering into our topic, I would like to tell you a conversation between a teacher and student. In a school, a science teacher was teaching our body lesson. While class was going on, a student got a doubt and asked the teacher, "What is our body made of?" Then teacher replied as like, "Just bricks or building blocks of a house. Our body also made up of building blocks called as cells." Yes, children, our body made up of cells. Not only our body, all the organisms which are on the earth, they made up of cells. That may be microorganisms, animals, or plants. Today we are going to discuss about microscopic most important unit of life, that is cell. Yes, our topic is cell, the basic unit of life. What is cell? The lesson name itself indicates cell is the basic unit of life. Why is cell considered as basic unit of life? There are two reasons for that. One is all the organisms made up of cells. See here, children, have you seen these organisms? Chlamydomonas, mushroom, mosquito, and plant. These are all made up of cells. Not only these, all the organisms which are present on the earth, they are made up of cells. Second one is all the life process which occur in an organism carried out by the cells. Thus, the cell considered as structural and functional unit of life. Let's go to next topic. Have you ever thought how are cells formed? Let us discuss about it. Scientific evidences indicate that 4,600 million years ago Earth was formed. At that time Earth was very hot. You can see here, children, Earth was very hot. There was no life. As Earth cooled down, Earth crust was formed and water vapor began to condense to form rain. In the next picture you can see that it continued for thousands of years. The rainwater accumulated at low-lying surface areas of Earth crust. By this process, oceans were formed. How many oceans are there in the children? There are 5 oceans in the world. One is Pacific Ocean, second one is Indian Ocean, third one is Arctic Ocean, fourth one is Antarctic, Atlantic. There are 5 oceans. While oceans were forming, several salts deposited into the ocean water. That's why ocean water called as prebiotic soup. What is called ocean water? Prebiotic soup. Why is ocean water called as prebiotic soup? Actually, living organisms originated from the ocean water. That's why it is called as prebiotic soup. Later, several chemical reactions took place in the ocean water in the presence of heat energy, light energy, and electric energy. Due to these chemical reactions, simple organic molecules were formed. Later, complex organic molecules were formed, such as sugars, lipids, proteins, and nitrogen bases. Were formed. These are all together formed into protoplasm. Protoplasm developed as single cellular organism. By this process, single cellular organisms were formed in the ocean. Where were living organisms formed for the first time? In the ocean, the living organisms are formed for the first time. Evidences available as of today indicate that cyanobacteria were the first living organisms on the earth. You can see here, these are the cyanobacteria organisms. Through the evolution process, all the organisms which are exist now, were formed. Look at this slide, children. This slide indicates us non-living things and living things organization. Here non-living things organization ended with molecules. Atoms together form and molecules. Molecules are in the form of crystals or solids or colloidals or gases. But in the living things organization, the atoms together formed into molecules. Molecules together formed into organic molecules such as proteins and carbohydrates and nucleic acid. Then after protoplasm developed into cell. By this process, cell was originated. From this cell, unicellular organisms are formed. Let us go to next topic. Who discovered the cell? Discovery of cell. Actually, who discovered the cell? Robert Hooke discovered the cell for the first time. Robert Hooke discovered the cell for the first time in 1665. He observed thin section cutting of cork. From his observations, he found a small box-like compartments which are resemble to the honeycomb chambers. Have you seen honeycomb chamber? The boxes look like this. Each chamber he called as cell. Cell is Latin word. It means small room. It is also called as little room. Little room. Cell is a Latin word. It means small room or little room. Robert Hooke mentioned his observations in his book in Micrographia. The cells which were observed by the Robert Hooke were dead cells. Children, we can see the similar type of structures as observed by the Robert Hooke in section of mastic. See this video, children. An activity, observation of mastic section. You take one mastic and remove the head part of the mastic, keep it in watch glass containing water, leave it for half an hour. Then you take that mastic and cut into thin section cuttings, and you take these thin section cuttings into a watch glass containing water. You select one thin section cutting, take onto a slide, put a drop of water on it, then cover with cover slip. Now you observe under microscope. You can notice small and big box-like compartments. These box-like compartments are dead cells. What have you observed? Children, what have you observed here? Small and big box-like structures you observed. Each box considered as cell. These are also dead cells. Who discovered the living cell? Yes, you can see in the slide, Antony von Leeuwenhoek. discovered the living cell in 1674. Antony von Leeuwenhoek discovered the living cell in 1674. He observed several materials such as droplets, water droplets and soil particles and his teeth scraping under his microscope. You can see here his microscope, and he found several small moving organisms under microscope. He named them as animalcule. What did he call? They called as animalcule. Animalcule means microscopic animals, small animals. Later they were called as bacteria by Ehrenberg. Children, we should appreciate these both scientists' contributions. They laid a way to a new branch of biology, that is cell biology. What is that branch? Cell biology. What is meant by cell biology? A branch of biology which deals with cell structure and function is called as cell biology, or the study of cell structure and function is called as cell biology. Otherwise it is called as cytology. Robert Hooke is considered as father of cytology. Let us go to next topic, children, that is cell theory. Who proposed the cell theory? Schleiden and Schwann. These both scientists were proposed the cell theory. Schleiden was a German botanist. Schwann was a zoologist, German zoologist. Schleiden observed several plants, Schwann observed several animals. Both together formulated a theory. That theory is called as cell theory. According to them, all cell is the structural unit of all organisms. And the second one point is cell is the functional unit of all living organisms. In addition to these points, another one German botanist, Rudolf Virchow, added one more point to these points. What is that one? New cells are formed from pre-existing cells. That means one cell divided into two cells divided into four cells. These four cells are formed from before cells. That means these two cells are formed from this cell. That means new cells are formed from pre-existing cell. This is also called as omnicellula e cellula. It is also called as cell inheritance theory. So let us go to next point, organization of body. You know that one, cell is the basic unit of life. Cells together form tissue, tissues together form organ together form organ system, organ systems together form organism. Here you can see cells together form tissues together form organs together form organ system together form organism. This organization we can compare with our society organization. How we can compare with our society organization? If you take student in the place of cell, student, group of student is called as section, then section together forms into class, classes together form into school, schools together form into our society, social welfare society. In the organization of society, student is basic unit, but in organization of an organism, cell is the basic unit and lowest level of organization. Children, do you think all the organisms have same type of organization? No. Here you can see amoeba. It has only cellular level organization because of one cell can act as organism. There is no further organization. If you take the hydra, it has only tissue level organization. There is no further organization. If you take the tapeworm, it has only organ level organization. Then after, if you take earthworm, it has organ system level organization. Our body also has several organ systems. Our body, we have organ system organization. That's why all organisms do not have same type of organization. They have different type of organization. Some of the organisms have tissue level organization, some of the organisms have cellular level organization, some of the organisms have organ level organization, some continued up to organ system level organization. So this is the organization of body. Let us go to next topic. Cell number in different organisms. Cell number. Are the all organisms made up of same number of cells? No, they are not made up of same number of cells. Some of the organisms have only one cell, some of the organisms have more than one cell. On the basis of cell number, the organisms are divided into two types. One is unicellular organisms. And second one is multicellular organisms. What is meant by unicellular organisms? The word itself indicates. What is that one? Uni means one. The organisms which are made up of only one cell, they are called as unicellular organisms. In unicellular organisms, one cell, for example, if you take the amoeba, this is amoeba, it is unicellular organism. One cell can perform the all functions such as respiration, digestion, excretion. These are all things can perform by the one cell. These are what called as unicellular. Children, you can observe here bacterium, amoeba, chlamydomonas. They made up of only one cell. That's why they are called as unicellular organisms. Now come to the multicellular organisms. Multi means many. Multi means many. The organisms which are made up of more than one cell called as multicellular organisms. Are we multicellular or unicellular? We are multicellular because our body made up of more than 75 to 100 trillion cells. That's why we are multicellular organisms. You can see other examples regarding to the multicellular organisms, Rhizopus, Cycas and deer. These are all fungi, plantae, animalia. These are all belongs to multicellular organisms, but here we can see that one in the fungi, yeast is unicellular organism. Children, let us go to next topic. here cell size. Do you think all cells have same size? No. All the cells do not have same size. On the basis of the size, cells we can divide into two types. One is the microscopic cells, macroscopic cells. Macroscopic cells. Microscopic cells means which we can't see with our naked eye. They are called as microscopic organisms. We can see with the help of microscope only. If you take the macroscopic cells, the macroscopic cells means the cells we can see with our naked eye. They are called as macroscopic cells. If you see here bacteria, the smallest cell is bacteria. Smallest cell is bacteria. We can found in bacteria. Mycoplasma genetium. Example, Mycoplasma genetium. It has about 0.01 micrometers in size. Do you know 1 micrometer is equal to how many millimeters? 1 micrometer is equal to 1 by 1000 millimeters or 10 to the power of minus 3 millimeters. Actually, you know that one units of that one, 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeters. 1 millimeter is equals to 1000 micrometers. 1 micrometer is equals 1000 nanometer. 1 nanometer is equals 1 angstrom. Actually, these units we use in the cytology or cell biology to measure the cell organelles. These are all things. The largest cell is an ostrich egg. What is the largest cell is? An ostrich egg. It has about 17 centimeters into 13 centimeters size. We can see with our naked eye. You can see here this is an ostrich egg. Yes. Then after, if you come to our body, the smallest cell is sperm. It has about sperm cell. It has about 4 microns length or micrometers length. Followed by the RBC, red blood cells. They have 7 micrometers in size. In our body, the longest cell is nerve cell. It has about 90 centimeters to 100 centimeters long. So you can see here, these are the red blood cells. This one is nerve cell. So this is about size of the cell. The size of the cell has no relation with size of the body. Children, if you take 2 onion bulbs, one is big one is small one. Generally we think that one big onion has big size cells, small onion has small size cells. But it is wrong. Both onions have same sized cells, but the number is different. That's why the cell size has no relation with size of the body. It related to its function only. Let us go to next topic. Organisms show variety in cell shape. Now let us discuss about shape of the cell. Do you think all cells have same shape? No, they don't have same shape. Different cells have different shapes. You can see here, what is this? This is nerve cell. This is nerve cell, it is long and branched. If we take this one is red blood cell, it is spherical in shape, or sometimes they have biconcave shape. Then after it is skeletal muscle cell or striated muscle cell, it elongated. Next, this one is smooth muscle cell, spindle shape. This one is God cell in stomata, bean shape. So different cells have different shapes. Here you can observe the nerve cell is long and branched. Here you can observe in this slide, nerve cell is long and branched, spindle shape. Smooth muscle cell is in spindle shape. Stripped muscle cell, that also called as striated muscle cell, it is long, elongated, cylindrical shape. Bone cell is star shaped. Red blood cells that may be in biconcave and spherical shape. White blood cells are amoeboid shape. Here God cell is kidney shaped, and bacteria rod shape that may be present in spherical shape as well. The parenchyma cells are irregular shape, or sometimes they are in oval shape. What determines the shape of the cell? Here the shape of the cell determines by its function. See children, if the red blood cells are long and branched like nerve cells, will they perform their function? They will not move easily in the blood vessels. They will not conduct their function. That's why the cell shape is determined by its function. So let us go to next topic. I want to show one video regarding to observation of onion peel. See, watch this video children. Children, we are going to do an activity, onion peel cells observation. First you take one onion bulb and cut it. And take a fleshy layer of onion bulb. Then you tear it into two pieces and separate them. While separating them, you can get one thin layer. You take this thin layer into a watch glass containing saffron in solution. Wait for 2 minutes. Then you take a piece of onion peel, and put a drop of water on it. Then you cover the onion peel with cover slip. You do not allow air bubbles while covering the onion peel with cover slip. Then gently press it. Now you observe under microscope. Then you can see tightly arranged rectangular cells. Have you observed the rectangular cells? What have you observed? Children, what have you observed? Here you observed group of cells which are arranged in tightly. Each cell covered with thick covering, it is called as cell wall. Next to the cell wall there is a thin membrane, it is called as cell membrane. Next, at the center of the cell there is a dense spherical body, it is called as nucleus. Then after you can see jelly like substance or liquid like substance present between the nucleus and cell membrane is called as cytoplasm. These features we observed in the onion peel cells. Let us see this video, children, regarding observation of cheek cells. Children, we will do an activity to observe cheek cells. You take one toothpick and scrape inner layer of cheek with the blunt end of the toothpick as like this. Then after you take scrap onto a slide, put a drop of methylene blue stain on it, leave it for half minute, then you add one drop of water, cover with a cover slip. Then you observe under microscope. We can see irregular shaped cells. These irregular shaped cells are cheek cells. What have you observed? Here you observed irregular shaped cells which are surrounded by thin membrane. It is called as cell membrane. Next, a dense spherical body present at the center, that one is called as nucleus, as well as a jelly like substance present between the cell membrane and nucleus, it is called as cytoplasm. So far we observed the onion peel cells and cheek cells. Onion peel cells and cheek cells, one is plant cell, another one is animal cell. How can we identify the plant cell and animal cell? Simply we can identify the plant cell and animal cell. Presence of cell wall indicates that means plant cell. Absence of cell wall, it indicates animal cell. Children, let us go to comparison of plant cell and animal cell. Here you can see animal cell structure and this one is plant cell structure. What parts do you notice in the animal cell? Mitochondria, nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, plasma membrane, Golgi apparatus, centrioles, cytoplasm. If you take here, the plant cell contain nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, chloroplast, cell wall, vacuole and plasma membrane. Now tell me, what are the common parts do you find? What are the common parts did you observe in both cells? Common parts in both cells. Okay. Both cells. Number one is cell membrane. Second one is cytoplasm. Third one is nucleus. Fourth one is mitochondria. Fifth one is endoplasmic reticulum. Sixth one is ribosomes. Actually ribosomes are not mentioned here, but ribosomes are present in both cells. Ribosomes and as well as lysosomes. Next, these are the etc. These are the common parts we can observe in the plant cell. Sorry, both cells. If you take plant cell, what parts are exclusively found in plant cell? Only in plant cell. We observe one is chloroplast, second one is cell wall, and third one is vacuole. These present in only plant cell. If you take the animal cell, what part is exclusively present in animal cell? One is centrosome, that is also called as, it contains the centrioles. Now you compare these both cells. What are the common features do you see in both cells? These are the common features. Now let us go to what are the differences between the plant cell and animal cell. Here you can see cell wall is present in plant cell, cell wall is absent in animal cell. Plastids are present in plant cell, absent in animal cell. Vacuoles are large in size in plant cell, sometimes small in size in animal cell, sometimes they are absent in the animal cell. Centrosome absent in plant cell, present in animal cell. Usually the plant cell size is bigger than animal cell. These are the differences we can notice here. Children, you see here, you see this model. This is plant cell model. Actually this one is cell wall, this membrane is cell wall. Then after this one is cell wall, this membrane is plasma membrane, second layer in the plant cell. Here you can see round spherical body like structure, it is called as nucleus. Then after rest of the inside part is considered as cytoplasm. In that cytoplasm several structures are embedded, they are called as cell organelles, such as smooth endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, chloroplast, ribosome, lysosome, Golgi apparatus, vacuole. These are the cell organelles present in that. If you convert this model into animal cell, what parts we should remove? Here we have to remove cell wall, then you have to remove big vacuole, we have to remove chloroplast, then it convert into animal cell model. Let us go to parts of the cell. Here if you take the typical cell consists three main parts. If you take the parts of cell, if you take typical cell consists three main parts. One is cell membrane, second one is cytoplasm, third one is nucleus. Actually these both together are called as protoplasm. Cell membrane plus protoplasm considered as protoplast. Actually protoplast plus cell wall, it considered as plant cell. Protoplast is equals to animal cell. These are the parts of the typical cell. We can make into small model by using small bottle. You take one bottle and fill with water or any jelly like substance, and you keep one spherical ball like structure inside of them. That one is called as spherical body, is considered as nucleus. The liquid like structure which is present inside that one is cytoplasm. Next walls of the bottle considered as cell membrane. If we cover with another thick cover, it considered as plant cell. Okay, we can prepare the typical cell model by using this material. Then after let us go to cell membrane. Cell membrane. Cell membrane otherwise called as plasma membrane. It is thin and delicate layer. It is made up of protein and lipids. You can see here, these are the lipids, and proteins are arranged as icebergs in the ocean of lipids. That's why it is also called as fluid mosaic model. The cell membrane is outer layer in the animal cell and second layer in the plant cell. Next, what are the functions of the cell membrane? Functions of the cell membrane: it gives shape and size. Number 2, it protects inner cellular constituents, and it separates the cells from one cell to another cell, separates one cell to another, and it allows certain selected substances through it. That's why it is also called as selectively permeable membrane. Selectively permeable membrane. It is also called as semi-permeable membrane. Why it is called as semi-permeable membrane? It allows only solvent molecules through it, but not allows the solute molecules. Children, we can see the cell membrane in the egg. How we can see the cell membrane in the egg? You take one raw egg, and keep it in HCl or toilet cleaner. Then we can get soft egg or de-shelled egg as like this. Children, you can see here. When we keep the egg inside of the toilet cleaner, the shell will dissolve in the toilet cleaner. Then we get as like this structure, soft egg. Now the outer layer consider as plasma membrane or semi-permeable membrane. The soft membrane is called as semi-permeable membrane. Next, we can do another one activity to know about the function of the cell membrane. You take two soft eggs or de-shelled eggs. You keep one in high concentrated solution, another in low concentration solution, means normal water. Leave it for 2 hours. What do you notice here? You can notice which is kept in the high concentration solution, the size will be decreased. Which kept in the low concentration solution, means normal water, the size will be increased. What is the reason for it? Here, osmosis, that is called as osmosis. Now, we took 2 solutions. One is normal solution, this is the normal water, it has low concentration. This one is salt water, it has high concentration. Now we kept same sized egg in both and left throughout the means 2 hours. We left them 2 hours or leave them 2 hours. Then automatically what happened? Here it has low concentration than the outer medium. It has high concentration than the outer medium. Then automatically what happened? The semi-permeable membrane allows the water molecules. Semi-permeable membrane allows the water molecules from low concentration to high concentration. Then automatically what happened? In the first situation, the water move from low concentration to high concentration, means inside egg to outside. Here the water enter into the egg shell because of outside low concentration and inside is high concentration. Then automatically the size will be increased, here size will be decreased. This is called as osmosis. The plasma membrane we are using in our daily life in several places, such as dialysis mission, and in our home. Actually we are using the RO plant, reverse osmosis plants. In that one we are using the plasma membranes. they are called as artificial plasma membranes. Which are present in the cells, they are called as natural plasma membrane. Let us go to next topic, cell wall. Cell wall is outer layer in the plant cell. It is unique feature of the plant cell. It is absent in the animal cell. It is surrounding the cell membrane in the plant cell. It is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose, pectin. In the wall cells, it is also present the suberin, lignin, cutin. These are all substances present in the cell wall. If you see the functions of cell wall, it gives shape and size to the cell, and it protects inner constituents of the cell, as well as it gives mechanical support to the cell, and it is also permeable. So these are the functions of the cell wall. Next, cytoplasm. The jelly-like substance, you can see here the jelly-like substance which one present between the cell membrane and nucleus. It is called as cytoplasm. It is colorless and transparent substance. It occupies between the nucleus and cell membrane. Many small cytoplasmic bodies are embedded in this cytoplasm. That one is called, they are called as cell organelles. In the next session, we will discuss in detail about the cell organelles. Now, children, note this project work. How are organisms classified by different scientists on the basis of cell structure and organization? Prepare a model of different shapes of cells with available material and list out their functions. As you know, social awareness. As you know, throughout the world is in panic condition due to the pandemic disease COVID-19. It is caused by virus. Coronavirus spreads primarily through the droplets of saliva or discharge from the nose when infected person coughs or sneezes. As you know that one, prevention is better than cure. To stop the spread of virus, we should fight against to the virus. That's why we should follow the preventive measures such as stay home and save lives, keep a safe distance, wash hands often, cover your cough, sick and call the helpline. If you feel okay, if you not feel well, you call helpline 105 and 1075. Thank you one and all.